Imagine a fortress, tall, impenetrable, and surrounded by vast, rugged landscapes. No enemy can breach its walls, no storm can topple its towers. Now imagine this fortress is not made of stone or iron, but of something far more resilient and powerful: your mind. In the ancient world, where wars were fought with swords and shields, the greatest battles were often those waged within the mind. The Stoics, masters of inner strength and resilience, understood this better than anyone else. They believed that true power comes not from controlling the world around us, but from mastering the world within. This video is not just another list of self-help tips. It is an exploration, a deep dive into the very core of what it means to live a life of purpose, strength, and tranquility. The habits we'll discuss are not mere routines, but profound practices that have the potential to transform your entire existence. Each habit is a key, forged in the fires of ancient wisdom, capable of unlocking a part of your mind that you never knew existed. Let us embark on this journey together, not as passive listeners, but as active participants in the cultivation of a mind that is as strong and unyielding as the fortress we imagined. These are the 10 Stoic habits that will not only train your mind, but will also fortify your spirit, sharpen your focus, and guide you toward a life of unparalleled clarity and peace. Habit 1. The art of negative visualization. The first habit is perhaps the most paradoxical, yet profoundly liberating: negative visualization. The Stoics, far from being pessimists, were masters of a technique that at first seems counterintuitive. They trained their minds to anticipate the worst. But why? To live a life free from fear, disappointment, and anxiety. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, advised, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." By imagining the loss of what we hold dear, whether it be our health, our wealth, or our loved ones, we prepare our minds to face these possibilities with strength and equanimity. This is not about living in fear, but about cultivating a deep appreciation for what we have while understanding that everything is transient. Imagine waking up each day and contemplating the loss of something you cherish. It sounds bleak, but this practice imbues your mind with a profound sense of gratitude. When we prepare for the worst, we are never caught off guard. Our minds are fortified against the unexpected, and our hearts are ready to face the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Negative visualization teaches us to detach from the material world, to understand that our peace of mind does not depend on external circumstances, but on our inner state. When you practice this habit, you will find that the small irritations and daily frustrations of life lose their sting. You become resilient, not because the world has changed, but because you have. This habit is the foundation upon which all other Stoic practices are built. It is the mental armor that shields us from the blows of fate. It is the wisdom of knowing that life is unpredictable, and in that unpredictability lies the opportunity for true freedom. Habit 2. The discipline of desire. Desire is a powerful force. It drives us to achieve, to seek out pleasure, to strive for what we want. But unchecked, it can also lead to dissatisfaction, frustration, and a never-ending cycle of craving and disappointment. The Stoics understood this dual nature of desire and taught that the key to a tranquil mind lies in disciplining it. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, emphasized that freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. At the heart of Stoic practice is the distinction between what is within our power and what is not. Our desires often lead us to focus on the latter: wealth, fame, the opinions of others, things that are ultimately beyond our control. To train the mind in the discipline of desire is to learn to want only what we can truly have: control over our own actions, thoughts, and responses. This does not mean giving up on goals or aspirations, but aligning them with what is within our power. When we focus on internal desires, like the desire to act virtuously, to live in accordance with reason, and to maintain our integrity, we free ourselves from the tyranny of external desires. Imagine for a moment the peace that comes from wanting nothing more than what you already possess. When your desires are aligned with what is within your control, you become invincible. No external force can sway you. No loss can devastate you, because your contentment is not tied to anything outside yourself. This habit is about cultivating a deep sense of self-sufficiency. It is about realizing that true wealth is not measured by what you have, but by what you can live without. The disciplined mind is one that is free from the chains of desire, a mind that is focused, clear, and at peace. Habit 3. Practicing voluntary discomfort. The third habit takes us further into the realm of mental toughness, practicing voluntary discomfort. In a world that constantly seeks comfort and convenience, the Stoic path teaches us to embrace discomfort as a way to strengthen the mind. The Stoics believed that by exposing ourselves to discomfort, we train our minds to be resilient in the face of hardship. Seneca wrote, "Set aside now and then a number of days during which you will be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This practice is not about masochism or needless suffering. It is about preparing for the inevitable challenges of life by confronting them on your own terms. When we willingly endure discomfort, whether it be physical or mental, we diminish the power it holds over us. We learn that we are capable of far more than we might have believed. Consider the power of fasting, cold showers, or rigorous physical exercise. These practices, though uncomfortable, build a resilience that spills over into all areas of life. When we face voluntary discomfort, we develop a sense of control over our bodies and minds. We learn that discomfort is not something to be feared, but something to be mastered. This habit also serves to remind us of the transitory nature of comfort and luxury. By occasionally depriving ourselves of these things, we learn to appreciate them more fully and to understand that our happiness does not depend on them. We become stronger, more resilient, and better prepared to face whatever life throws our way. Habit 4. The power of purpose. A mind without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, adrift, directionless, and at the mercy of the waves. The Stoics understood that to live a meaningful life, one must have a clear and defined purpose. This habit is about finding that purpose and aligning your life with it. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote, "People who labor all their lives but have no purpose to direct every thought and impulse toward are wasting their time, even when hard at work." The Stoics believed that every action, every decision, should be guided by a higher purpose, a purpose that transcends the self and connects us to something greater. To train the mind in the power of purpose is to constantly remind yourself of your why. Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you work, strive, and push yourself? When your actions are aligned with your purpose, you become unstoppable. Your mind is focused, your energy is directed, and your life is filled with meaning. This habit requires introspection and self-awareness. It demands that you look within and ask the difficult questions. What do I value most? What do I want to contribute to the world? What legacy do I want to leave behind? When you find your answers, you will find your purpose. Living with purpose is not about achieving some grand external goal. It is about living each day with intention and clarity. It is about knowing who you are and what you stand for. When your mind is trained in the power of purpose, you will find that the challenges and obstacles of life no longer deter you. They become stepping stones on the path to fulfilling your purpose. Habit 5. The virtue of acceptance. Life is full of events that are beyond our control. the weather, the actions of others, the passage of time. These are all forces that we cannot influence. The Stoics believed that the key to a tranquil mind lies in the virtue of acceptance, embracing what is rather than fighting against it. Epictetus taught, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happens the way it happens. Then you will be happy." This is the essence of Stoic acceptance, not passive resignation, but active alignment with the natural order of things. To practice acceptance is to train the mind to be at peace with reality. It is about understanding that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. When we accept what is, we free ourselves from the mental turmoil that comes from resisting the inevitable. This habit requires a shift in perspective. It means seeing challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. It means understanding that every experience, whether pleasant or painful, has something to teach us. When we embrace this mindset, we become resilient in the face of adversity. We learn to flow with the currents of life, rather than struggling against them. Acceptance does not mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing what is within our control and focusing our energy there. It means letting go of the need to control everything and trusting in the natural order of the universe. When we practice this habit, we cultivate a mind that is calm, centered, and at peace with the world. Habit 6, the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that to live fully, one must live in the present, not in the past, which is gone, nor in the future, which is uncertain. This habit is about training the mind to focus on the here and now, to experience life as it unfolds. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." This simple yet profound advice is the key to a mindful life. When we focus on the present moment, we free ourselves from the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future. We become fully engaged in our lives, experiencing each moment with clarity and intention. To practice mindfulness is to train the mind to observe without judgment. It is about being aware of your thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they arise, without getting caught up in them. This habit requires discipline and practice, but the rewards are immense. A mindful mind is a calm mind, a mind that is free from the constant chatter and distraction that so often plagues us. Mindfulness also allows us to connect more deeply with others and with the world around us. When we are fully present, we listen more attentively, we see more clearly, and we live more fully. This habit is not about escaping from reality, but about engaging with it more deeply. By cultivating mindfulness, we train our minds to be focused, calm, and resilient. We learn to appreciate the richness of each moment, to find joy in the simple things, and to live our lives with intention and purpose. This habit, like all Stoic practices, leads to a mind that is strong, clear, and at peace. Habit 7, the wisdom of mortality. The Stoics were deeply aware of the transient nature of life. They believed that to live fully, one must constantly remind oneself of the reality of death. This habit, known as memento mori, remembering that you will die, is not morbid, but liberating. It is a powerful tool for living with purpose and clarity. Seneca advised, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." By reflecting on our mortality, we gain perspective on what truly matters. We are reminded that our time is limited and that we must use it wisely. This habit is about embracing the impermanence of life, not with fear, but with gratitude. When we remember that our days are numbered, we are motivated to live each one to the fullest. We stop procrastinating, we let go of trivial concerns, and we focus on what is truly important. Memento mori, is not about living in fear of death, but about living with an acute awareness of life's preciousness. It is about understanding that every moment is a gift and that we must not waste it. This habit teaches us to live with urgency, to prioritize our values, and to act with intention. By reflecting on our mortality, we also cultivate a deep sense of humility. We recognize that we are part of a greater whole, that our time here is brief, and that we must make the most of it. This habit leads to a mind that is focused, purposeful, and at peace with the inevitability of life's end. Habit 8. The practice of inner dialogue. The mind is constantly engaged in an inner dialogue, a conversation with itself that shapes our thoughts, emotions, and actions. The Stoics understood the power of this inner dialogue and taught that to train the mind, one must cultivate a practice of rational and constructive self-talk. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the essence of Stoic inner dialogue, recognizing that our perception of events, rather than the events themselves, determines our experience. By training our inner dialogue, we gain control over our reactions and emotions. This habit is about becoming aware of your thoughts and challenging them when necessary. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself, is my response rational? Am I seeing this situation clearly, or am I allowing my emotions to cloud my judgment? By engaging in this kind of self-reflection, you train your mind to think more clearly and to respond more wisely. The Stoics also practiced affirmations, reminding themselves of their values, principles, and the importance of virtue. This habit is not about denying reality or ignoring challenges, but about reinforcing the mindset that will help you navigate them effectively. Inner dialogue is a powerful tool for self-improvement. It allows you to catch negative thought patterns before they take hold, to reframe challenges as opportunities, and to stay aligned with your principles even in the face of adversity. By practicing constructive inner dialogue, you train your mind to be resilient, rational, and focused on what truly matters. Habit 9. The cultivation of virtue. For the Stoics, virtue was the highest good, the ultimate goal of life. They believed that to live a good life, one must cultivate the 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. This habit is about training the mind to embody these virtues in every thought, word, and deed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the Stoic commitment to virtue. Living virtuously is not about adhering to a set of rules, but about embodying the principles that lead to a good and meaningful life. Wisdom is the ability to see things clearly, to understand the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Courage is the strength to act according to our principles, even in the face of fear or difficulty. Justice is the commitment to fairness, to treating others with respect and integrity. Temperance is the ability to control our desires and impulses, to live with moderation and balance. To cultivate virtue is to train the mind to prioritize these principles above all else. It is about making decisions that are in alignment with your values, even when it is difficult. It is about striving to be the best version of yourself, not for the sake of recognition or reward, but because it is the right thing to do. This habit requires constant practice and self-reflection. It demands that you hold yourself to a high standard, that you examine your actions and motivations, and that you strive to live in accordance with your principles. When you cultivate virtue, you train your mind to be strong, disciplined, and aligned with the greater good. Habit 10. The practice of gratitude. Gratitude, the practice of recognizing and appreciating the good in our lives, is the final habit in the Stoic training of the mind. The Stoics believed that gratitude is essential for a tranquil and contented life. It is the antidote to envy, dissatisfaction, and resentment. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, from what is wrong to what is right. It trains the mind to see the abundance in our lives rather than the scarcity. To practice gratitude is to make it a daily habit. Each day, take a moment to reflect on what you are grateful for. It could be something as simple as the warmth of the sun, the support of a friend, or the opportunity to learn and grow. By focusing on these things, you cultivate a positive and resilient mindset. Gratitude also fosters a sense of connection to others and to the world around us. It reminds us that we are not alone, that we are part of a greater whole, and that we have much to be thankful for. This habit leads to a mind that is content, peaceful, and in harmony with the world. Gratitude is not about ignoring life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about recognizing that even in the midst of difficulty, there is always something to be grateful for. This habit trains the mind to find the silver lining, to see the good in every situation, and to live with a sense of appreciation and wonder. Conclusion: the path to mastery. The 10 Stoic habits we have explored are more than just practices. They are a way of life. They are the tools that will help you train your mind to be strong, resilient, and at peace. By incorporating these habits into your daily life, you will not only improve your mental and emotional well-being, but also cultivate a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment. Remember, the path to mastery is not a destination, but a journey. It requires patience, discipline, and a commitment to continuous growth. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from constant practice and reflection. They understood that the mind, like a muscle, grows stronger with use. As you embark on this journey, know that you are not alone. The wisdom of the Stoics has been passed down through the ages, and it continues to guide and inspire those who seek to live a life of meaning and virtue. By training your mind in the Stoic way, you are joining a tradition that has helped countless others find clarity, strength, and peace. So take these habits to heart, practice them daily, reflect on them deeply, and watch as your mind transforms into the unshakable fortress of wisdom, virtue, and tranquility that the Stoics envisioned. The journey begins now,